Hi, you guys. Welcome. Today we are going to be talking about the Taurus full moon that is coming up November 5th. It's pretty early in the morning. Yes, I am testing my costume out for Halloween. If you think you know who I am, comment below. This is not the full thing. It might be. It just depends if I get things in time. So, let me know who you think I am down in the comments. This full moon that is coming up is pretty delicious and I'm really excited. There are a lot of other transits happening while this is going on. And so if you want to know about those, definitely subscribe because my weekly forecast will be coming out soon so you can prep for that information. So just keep your eye out with that. Other housekeeping things before we jump into the transits. Watch the full video first off. I know some people like to jump ahead and listen to their rising sign, which is cool, but let me paint the whole picture for you first before you actually go ahead and do that. Some other exciting news of things that I'm doing. I'm going to be having a Mercury retrograde workshop. We're going to be doing that on November 8th. Right before Mercury stations retrograde. It's for 2 hours, 4 p.m. PST, so you can check the description below to sign up. There's going to be limited spots, and it's going to be a full deep dive on like understanding Mercury, understanding retrograde cycles, and understanding this specific one and how to work with the energy. So sign up. If you can't make it, you can still sign up and you'll get the recording as well. So okay, a full moon in Taurus. What a beautiful, auspicious full moon this is. I have the chart up to the side, so if you see me like glancing off, that's what I'm looking at here. This full moon feels pretty delicious on its own. Of course, like I said at the beginning of this video, there are some other aspects happening astrologically that I don't really want to ignore or push to the side because when I'm looking at the chart, I'm looking at the full picture and I feel as though I would be doing you a disservice if I didn't talk about everything that's going on because this full moon standing on its own is really beautiful. Actually, it's very supportive and kind of a breath of fresh air. But as you know, with life in general, there can be a lot of different parts and pieces happening all at once. So we could have joy in one aspect of our life and then be going through crisis in another. So full moons. Breakdown of full moon. Most of you guys know, but I always want to make sure that anybody who is finding my videos for the first time, they understand the knowledge around it. And also for those of you who are rejoining me, definitely like and share this video with other people who you may think will benefit. And if you're not yet subscribed, subscribing helps. It gets my content out to other people who might benefit from it. So full moons, full moons. This is when the moon is at peak illumination. That means it's in opposition with the sun, right? And so when we have a full moon, it is the heightened aspect of the lunar energy. This means things get a little bit crazier at this time. A lot more energy is present, especially emotional energy because the moon rules over our emotions. Now, the moon is super comfy cozy in Taurus. This is a very delicious energy. And so when we have a full moon in Taurus, this is illuminating our values, our resources, our body, what we feel that we own. This can do with money, this can do with our actual physical vessel, noting that, indulging, enjoying. Additionally, looking at what we value, what we covet, what we really deeply enjoy in this human experience. This full moon is actually ruled by itself. It's in the second decan of Taurus, and the second decan of Taurus is ruled by the moon. So this full moon's really powerful on its own. It's got this sort of like extra oomph to it. I got images of like I love when I get the imagery. I got like the Princess and the Pea kind of vibe where it's like got all these like cushion like beds and she can still feel that there's something under it. That's kind of this high luxury value of Taurus where it's like even with all these, if you don't know the story of the princess and the pea, which, what an interesting story. It's basically they're looking for this princess, and people, they stack all these mattresses and have these different women lay on it, and only the princess notices that there is a small pea at the bottom of them because of the slight discomfort it causes her. That's kind of this this full moon in Taurus. It's like wanting to be in that luxury and like noticing when things are not fully in alignment. So themes of luxury, themes of pleasure, themes of indulgence. This can be a very gluttonous full moon, so a lot of like physical enjoyment. So careful with some overindulgence. Moderation's important, but this might be a great time to actually really enjoy yummy things. I'm thinking it's after Halloween. If you have kids, you get to, grab some of their candies, enjoy those. And maybe it's a little bit later of a celebration for you. Now, we're in the heart of Scorpio season. And so the interesting dichotomy that comes between the sun and the moon. So the sun's in Scorpio, the moon's in Taurus. The sun in Scorpio is really having us deepen into our shadows. And so this almost feels like a breath of fresh air. It's like coming up over the surface. And we've got some other astrology things happening. Mars and Mercury moved into Sagittarius, which is a whole different vibe. There's an interesting opposition that is happening between Mars and Uranus as this is going on, and then Uranus moves back into Taurus just like a day or two after this full moon. So there's this interesting quality where we're kind of getting the opportunity to see like our emotions in this. I want to look at the exact date for that Uranus shifting into Taurus. I believe it's like literally the day after this full moon. It'll be Friday that it does. And so the moon will be out of Taurus at that time, but it will cross over Uranus at a certain point in this. And it's interesting that I feel called to talk about this because usually in my new and full moon videos, I usually stay on topic, but this feels like we're getting the opportunity because Uranus had been in Taurus. It dipped into Gemini over the summer, now is moving back into Taurus. We had Uranus in Taurus for about 8 years, and we've been really reviewing our like attachments to our physical things, especially money, our values. And so the moon crossing over Uranus, and they're going to be crossing over in Gemini, so a little bit after this full moon, whatever's happening on this full moon, it feels really important to feel into your values that come up and your emotional attachment because the moon is really highlighting what you value. And, a lot of people like to talk about Taurus being a little bit like money hungry, enjoying like having a stack of cash. As a little kid, I loved having a little wallet. I think I had like a Lisa Frank Rainbow Kitty wallet. Loved it. Hi, I'm a Taurus, if you guys didn't gather that yet. But it's like we're getting the opportunity to see where our values actually lie. And they might not be in a number amount. It might be in like rich in friendship, rich in love, rich in quality of life, versus this sort of different aspect that we've been taught, like, have a fat bank account, have a big savings, all these things, all these like other structural things, which Uranus having moved through Taurus the last 8 years, we've all been like kind of reevaluating our relationship to finances. And so Uranus dipping back into it, it's like we get this final little glance at it. Now this full moon in Taurus, another layer to add in, as you guys know, I'm gonna bring in the layers. Another layer to add into this full moon in Taurus is it's ruled by the Six of Pentacles. Okay, we're gonna put that right here, Six of Pentacles, take a peek at it. So in this card, we're seeing, a person holding scales. They're offering their riches to these sort of beggars or like other people. And the purpose of the Six of Pentacles is really understanding the balance of life. in giving and receiving. And so I feel deeply this full moon is giving us the opportunity to kind of balance the scale. So maybe if you've been in the state of too much giving, you shift into a state of receptivity, and vice versa. If you've been, receiving a lot, it's like, wow, it's time to give. It's like I'm seeing the scales balance in a new way, and it's on a personal level. It could be just even like witnessing how you engage with other people, and do I live in a energetic exchange of like it has to be equal, or just noticing those sort of smaller nuances with just even energetic exchanges. For some, I feel this like push towards like really valuing like how you like your gifts is really important. Like what you do and who you are is valuable. Yeah, it feels really important to say that. So again, this full moon is really bringing in this edge of balance. I'm going to look at the Six of Pentacles. This is like financial help, finances improving, um, you know, allowing more success in is this deeper aspect of it. Generosity, being able to give, community. I'm looking at the card itself right now too. It's like, yeah, like I think one of my favorite things when I was in more of like a higher financial position was the fact that I could give I was just, it's this beautiful space to be in a lot of abundance and being able to give to those around you. It feels good to be able to give. And also, if you're really, really good at giving to people, how's your receptivity? Can you receive things? That's something that I've been really looking at for myself on my personal journey. So this full moon, giving, receiving, recognizing your values, celebrating. Can you be celebrated? Also, full moons are like peak energy. Can you celebrate yourself and your successes and your achievements? That's something I like to pull into conversations. Is it's like when you do something beautiful and amazing, do you celebrate yourself, right? So just really noticing that. So I'm excited for this full moon. This is at 13 degrees of Taurus, so definitely check out 13 degrees within your natal chart of any fixed sign. So that would be Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio, and what's the other one? When I'm blanking, Leo. So definitely check out if you have anything at 13 degrees or around there. That's going to make it a little bit more significant for you. And definitely check out my astrology forecast that will be coming out on Sunday for more of a deeper dive on this week and what's happening on this day for the astrology, because it's going to add in some more layers, okay? I want to dive into the rising signs, so check your rising sign and see where it's at. If you use whole sign houses, this is going to be very direct. If you use Placidus, look at where 13 degrees of Taurus is within your natal chart. And if you need assistance, come join my Discord server. We have a channel that's called, like, you can put your chart in there, and then we have an astrology discussion channel, and we can help you. Additionally, it's not all astrology focused. It's just a fun community of people. We have a book club, etc. Anyways, let's jump in. So for my Aries risings, this is happening in your second house. So again, you have the natural chart. So this is highlighting resources and finances and your value. This is really bringing that into conversation and like balancing the scales, okay? For Taurus risings, this is happening in your first house. So your identity, how you show up as. I love this for you. This feels like your appearance is actually matching your internal self-worth. So if that self-worth is a little out of balance, it's like really allowing you to open up to shifting those scales and really like balancing out your self-worth and how you show up. You are, this is your emotions right on your face. So like really, really allowing yourself to like maybe ask for help. Imagine a Taurus rising asking for help. please. People would love the opportunity to help you guys. Okay, Gemini risings, this is happening in your 12th house. So your 12th house is the hidden realm. This is your subconscious mind. So this is going to be very interesting for you guys because I see it's almost as if like different puzzle pieces in the background of your mind. It's like background processes that happen on a computer. It's like things are shifting where you're no longer attaching. You're having this moment of like kind of clarity of no longer attaching to old stories around worth, old stories around what you value, what you covet. It's coming to your attention, and dreams, definitely take note of your dreams at this time and write those down. So subconscious things are coming through. It's not on the forefront of your mind. It's definitely stuff that's almost happening in the background where it's almost like, oh, suddenly you're no longer afraid to purchase something or no longer afraid to express your desires out in the world. It's really beautiful. Okay, for my Cancer risings, this is happening in your 11th house. So this is community. Oh, this is so sweet. Community, friendships, collective energy. This is fun. This is like celebrating, quality over quantity within friendships, within the community that you're building. Maybe you're in a state where you don't have like a very deep friendships, but or a lot of friends, but you have really, really quality people that you get to engage with. This is like celebrating those friendships. This can also be celebrating and like actually going out of your comfort zone a little bit and like letting yourself be celebrated. Let yourself be celebrated and actually receiving, past that hard Cancerian shell, like receiving what you're worth. Leo risings, this is happening in your 10th house. So this is talking all about your career, your vocation. It's the highest point of your chart. Are you being paid what you're worth? Are you charging what you're worth? It's time to like really take a look at your emotional connection to your value and asking for what you're worth, or even giving more. Maybe you have a really fat wallet and like actually giving opens up more of a flow to receive too. Okay. Virgo risings, this is happening in your 9th house. This is all about higher learning. I like froze up. I was in a flow because I'm a Virgo rising. So I was like, how is this affecting me? And so this is bringing in a moment to look at teaching, at being a student, looking at where you value, your skills within what you've been learning. You've been to enough school, right? You don't need to buy more courses. You're already qualified. Some people, you might actually find a course that you're like, wait, this is really like, I want to learn about this. This is like something, finding something that interests you and really like understanding the like worth of what that value is to like learn this, whatever it is. Different strokes for different folks. This is bringing in a sort of value to your knowledge and to your beliefs, like actually knowing that there's a richness here that can be balanced within this like giving and receiving energy that this Taurus full moon is offering. For my Libra risings, this is happening in your 8th house. This is bringing in a really deep richness of understanding. Ooh, there's a whole different energy that I just tapped into versus our Virgo rising. So, this is bringing up really looking at how you value yourself, you're gonna have to do some digging here. This is the moon's illuminating some old fears around your worth. Like, am I enough? It's kind of those stories of like, especially around money. There's a very interesting kind of thread of where maybe you're hoarding things, or it feels like the image I just got in my mind's eye is kind of like a dragon sitting on its like hoarded gold. It's like, if this money is just sitting there, it's stale. Like if you're not investing in yourself, if you're not investing in quality things, quality relationships, this is the 8th house, then what are you doing? Right? All right. For my Scorpio risings, this full moon is happening in your 7th house of relationships. Ooh. Yummy. This is a balance of giving and receiving, you know? Is that balanced? It's bringing in this sort of understanding your value within relationships. Like it's not just about always pampering the other person, always are they filling your cup? Are you filling your own cup? Are you just pouring into another person and till you're empty? So this is really bringing in, looking at your close connections, whether it's romantic, platonic, familial, whatever these relationships are, like really looking at the deeper undertone of like, is this balanced? Is this fair? Am I being like treated fairly in this? And additionally, this is a beautiful full moon to like get really clear on your needs in a relationship and to not compromise when you're going into the dating world. Okay? Cool. All right, Sagittarius risings. This is happening in your 6th house. This is routines, work, health, service. This full moon happening there is kind of bringing in a sort of, this is beautiful. It's like, is your routine, is your day-to-day devotion really serving you? Or have you been neglecting your needs? Have you been neglecting like making sure your cup is filled in your day-to-day motions? Or are you just, skipping breakfast every day, even though you like actually really want a breakfast, really bringing in like, what if you could find new, indulgent, fun, pleasurable ways to show up for yourself day to day? And it's really highlighting this for you. It's really bringing in this sort of like, how do I value myself in my routine? How do I value myself in work? It's like, can you romanticize your cleaning? Can you romanticize putting your calendar together? It's bringing in that sort of note of like, what if this was delicious? What if? Okay, Capricorn risings. This is happening in your 5th house of creativity, fun, creation, dating. This is yummy. Like, you're actually letting yourself be like, how do I describe this? I just got like so many different images in my head. It feels really delicious in this area of like, making sure that your cup is filled and like what you really want to create. So if it's like picking up a new hobby, if it's actually putting aside time to work on your creations, this also brings in like maybe going on a date at this time and really just letting yourself have like, I heard like 30 flirting and thriving, like letting yourself be kind of in this romantic energy with life and being playful with how you give and receive within your creativity. Also, for my creatives out there, my creative Capricorn risings, you wouldn't have the desire to create if there wasn't an equal and opposite recipient of that. So whatever you've been like holding back on creating, do it. And like set your values as you do that, okay? Beautiful. All right, Aquarius risings. This is happening in your 4th house of home, family, like your internal structure. This is really highlighting like celebrating your close connections. And like also for some of you guys, it's bringing in like, are your relationships balanced at home? Like, have you just been giving and giving and giving and giving to your family and like not getting anything in return? Or have you been taking and like kind of hoarding? Like, I can't give, I'm too busy, I can't help, but I'll take all the help I can get. So it's like there's a level of balance coming in with your values with your family. For some of you, it's like really realizing that like you're not in alignment with those sort of familial structures that you grew up in, and it's finding new ones that work for you in your life. Okay, you don't have to follow the same footprints that your parents laid out for you. You can go on your own path. And this full moon's really highlighting, like, how do you want to, like, build your home environment? Even if you're in an apartment or renting a room, like, that's still your space. How do you want that to be? Okay. Whew. All right, last but not least, Pisces risings. This is happening in your third house of communication, kind of like neighborhood, close friend energy, siblings. My brother better be watching this or else. This is for you. So, this is really highlighting, communication here and really understanding. This is really bringing in the edge of, like, are you always the person who is, like, talking, communicating, like, sharing intimately and not receiving that back from, like, your closer connections? So it's really finding the balance and value in communication and, like, having real conversations, because you're a Pisces rising, you're just deep off the get-go. And so, people, that might scare people, but that's who you are. And so just really inviting that depth and, like, your values into conversation. And if you're communicating in ways that aren't truly in alignment for you, it's time to really look at that. So, again, bringing in that theme of giving and receiving here. So, okay. All right, I'm going to be ending the video here. Again, I have a Mercury retrograde masterclass that's going to be coming out. So, sign up. There's going to be a limited amount of spots if you would like to join me. Okay. I love you guys so much. Bye.